welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. Today we have a Bakugou ex-listener. So this is part of Halloweek, and I'm super excited for it. So little author's note before we get started. This is an AU where the world is overwhelmingly ridden with vampires, creatures who look exactly like humans yet hunger insatiably for flesh and blood during the night. UA stands as the top-ranked academy for vampire hunters. Also, trigger warning for blood. It was a stupid mistake. A miscalculation of your footing. You missed an attack from your quirk. It was too dark outside to see. As if the moon had disappeared completely. You knew it was a crazy idea to sneak out of UA with Bakugou, but he had begged you, desperately pleaded you to come with him. He wanted to show you how strong he was. He wanted to show you his hatred towards the monsters. You fell as the recoil of your quirk sent you flying backwards, your hands bracing against the ground beneath you. A scream ripped itself from your lungs as the creature lunged at you. Firelight from Bakugou's explosions glinted off the monster's milky, sightless eyes, its gasping mouth crowded with rows of sharp, black teeth. Something inside you gave away. In fury and hopelessness and uncertainty of your own death. No! Bakugou's cry rent the air beside you. As he had suddenly rushed forward, the vampire screeched and tore across Bakugou's chest. Its thick claws sunk deep into his shoulders, talons wet with his blood. Its huge jaw snapped down onto his neck. Bakugou screamed, or you think he did. You couldn't hear anything except the pounding of your own heart. You had waited too long, watched too long at Bakugou's howling mouth, his terrified eyes, and that monstrous thing that had him in its glistening gray arms. You finally willed your legs to move. You grabbed Bakugou's arm and pulled him behind you, and then stabbed a knife deep into the vampire's chest. It thrashed free with your grip and lunged at you again in a frenzy of rage. You were quicker this time as you threw your arm forward and shot a light beam through your palm. The vampire stumbled backwards momentarily and then fell into a grotesque heap, black blood pouring from its mouth. Bakugou! You were at his side in an instant, pulling him into your lap. He coughed and shakily wiped his mouth with the back of his hand, smearing more blood across his cheek. Kill me. His harsh voice was replaced with something you had never heard before. At least not from him. It was fear, worry, helplessness. No, you sobbed, tears streaming down your cheeks. God, no, I can't. Bakugou, please. The air was thick with the smell of blood. Bakugou stirred beneath you, grunting as the tiniest movements caused him pain. His breath was labored. I don't want to turn into one of those damn things. I can't. We don't know if that one was a pureblood, you continued hurriedly as you started to notice his eyes closing. We can get you back to the academy, they can help you. And then what if they find out I've been bitten? Then what? He snapped. They'll execute me on the spot. You huddled over him, shielding his body with yours. You knew it was futile, but it was all you could offer. You smelled the stench of the vampire. Of course it was a pureblood. You pressed your forehead to Bakugou's, tears running down the length of your chin and onto his face. Time skip. 6 nights later, lightning slashed across the darkness of Bakugou's dorm, leaving the small space tinted bronze in the faltering light. A heavy crack of thunder soon reverberated overhead, rolling across the rooftop and slightly rumbling the walls. Bakugou shivered in his blankets, wrapping them more tightly around his body as he now tried to bury deep into them. Hey, you touched the pile of blankets softly. Your voice was sad, almost apologetic. You need to feed. Get away! Bakugou ripped the covers off and careened it backwards towards the wall. Pointed ears poked out from beneath his messy hair, eyes more red intensely focused on your neck. But most notably, there were sharp fangs that you could see as he breathed heavily, mouth agape. Stay the fuck away! You blinked at him, taken aback. Your tired mind had been brimming with solutions to help Bakugou, worrying in a state between panic and exhaustion and disbelief since the incident. You weren't sure that you had the energy to argue with him anymore. You have to. You pulled down the collar of your shirt, exposing the bottom of your neck that was littered in bite marks and bruises. This is how we keep you alive. If you feed, no one suspects anything. If you don't, you'll look like how you look now, and not to mention you'll starve. Good, Bakugou hissed. Let me fucking die. You sighed and crawled across the bed towards him. I can't let you. Bakugou made a disgusted sound as he desperately tried to push his body closer against the wall. His foul temper pulled his lips back into a sneer, his fangs cutting across his lips and drawing blood. Holy shit. Bakugou's gasp was muffled through his hand and that he had quickly brought up to cover his nose and his mouth. As you drew closer, his hunger became insatiable. An angry look passed over his features, But then he seemed to unfurrow himself, as his mouth quirked into the suggestion of grin. He ran a frustrated hand through his hair. Fine. Your breath hitched as his lips grazed your ear, your collarbone and your throat. He drew back hesitantly. It's okay, I promise. You laced your fingers through his hair and pulled him closer and closer until his fangs finally sunk into your skin. You gasped, eyes closing in pain. He lifted you into his lap, tilting your neck further back. Light illuminating the room once again with a warm glow. How you fucked up, he thought. The thing Bakugou hated most was what he had become. The thing you hated most was what you were trying to keep alive. A wave of shame rushed through you, and the glowing light faltered, until undulting darkness spilled into black waves over your vision, until you felt nothing at all. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that one. Really, I'm looking forward to this all week. This is the first video that I actually recorded, just because it's the one that I knew I would be keeping. Either way, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever. We're looking forward to Halloween, and goodbye!